Big news about the future of Game Pass and Xbox consoles. Sleeping makes Nintendo a fortune, and the new trailers brought to you by Tekken's Kazuya. I'm Matt Simpson, this is Ginx News. Big news for Game Pass users, and unfortunately, it isn't all good. The price of Game Pass is going up. From today, the Ultimate tier is going up from $17 a month to $20, and the PC version will also see a bump from $10 a month up to $12. Now the good news is the benefits will still be the same. A massive back catalogue of games, day one releases for certain titles, and a slew of discounts and free in-game items. However, this is where I have to be the bearer of bad news. The console tier is being shelved in favour of a brand new standard tier. This will include the game library and online services, but crucially does not include access to games on release day one. If you are already subscribed at the console tier, don't panic. You will still get to keep your benefits. Just do not let your renewal payment fail at any point, or it's game over, quite literally. Now, I wouldn't have a massive issue with this. The world is getting more expensive, so naturally prices have to increase at some point. Plus, it is still incredible value for money when you think about how much you're spending and what you get for it. But hang on, didn't Microsoft say that the price of Game Pass wouldn't go up back in March? Well, that didn't take long to change your tune, eh? Then again though, how can one of the biggest companies in the world expect to buy up half the industry without forcing us consumers to cover for it? Plus, you know, they've got to keep making consoles, which is an expensive practice. Except, do they have to do that though? Because that's not all the news we've had from Microsoft. They've announced that you'll now be able to stream your Game Pass titles through an Amazon Fire Stick. Games are streamed to your device through your TV. So all you need to do is hook up a Bluetooth controller and off you go. This is basically what Google Stadia was supposed to be, except with an actual library of games and a company who knows what they're doing. By introducing this, it seems like Microsoft are moving away from the console market and making big strides towards being the industry leader in game streaming and a console-less future. Certainly compared to the other major players anyway. Nintendo have little interest in the internet in general, let alone game streaming. And who the hell owns a PlayStation Portal? So, is this the death of consoles? Well, no, but is this the death of Xbox consoles? Quite possibly. It's not exactly news that the PS5 and Switch have dominated the console market in the last few years, with Microsoft lagging far behind their rivals. But they are arguably best positioned to move into a future of cloud gaming, owing to Game Pass and their vast array of studios. But is this something you'd be on board with? Would you jump onto a future without consoles? Or will you stick by that trusty living room hardware? Let me know down below. Over to some Pokemon news now. And more specifically, everyone's favourite augmented reality game that used to be massive but is now played exclusively by old men who produce news shows about video games. For those unaware, the title is actually geo-locked in some territories. One of those is China, who have safety concerns about the game, and so have made it unplayable in the region. For a country with a questionable human rights record, it does seem a bit farcical, to be honest. It's also banned in Russia as well, though that decision was made by Niantic following their illegal invasion of Ukraine. Anyway, it appears as though things have changed, as Chinese and Russian players were suddenly able to play the game. They were able to send cuddly postcards from places like Tiananmen Square, and could see Pokestops and other game locations for the very first time. Then, an hour later, it was gone again. No word on why this happened, but the game's developer Niantic are gearing up for this year's Go Fest. Maybe they're just too busy to comment on this apparent glitch. Either way, not a great look for a company that doesn't have the best reputation as it is. But another Pokemon developer, Select Button, are faring a little better. They're the guys who make Pokemon Sleep, the slumber tracking mobile game that monitors your snoozing trends, assigns you a sleeping score, and plays soothing music to you as you drift off to dream about Snorlaxes again. According to Pocket Gamer, the app has cleared $100 million in revenue a week before its first anniversary. And while this does pale in comparison to the $600 million or so in revenue that Pokemon Go made last year, at least it doesn't suddenly wake you up at 3 in the morning and not explain why. Ubisoft has a habit of screwing the pooch, from misleading game trailers to rushed releases to the absolute nightmare fuel that was Assassin's Creed Unity. And now you can add another to that list: theft. Assassin's Creed Shadows includes stolen artwork in its promotional material. Several shots for the upcoming game feature this specific flag with some white Japanese script over a dark red background. Well, as it turns out, this is actually a bespoke logo design created by a historical reenactment group called the Sekigahara Teppotai. They recreate historical events from Japanese history, but use their own bespoke designs for their military apparel, including their flags. Clearly, someone on the development team at Ubisoft wasn't aware of this nuance, and simply copy-pasted whatever they found on a Google image search for Japanese historical military flags without checking the context.
I am too smart!
To their credit, Ubisoft have apologised for the use of the flag and taken it out of all their promotional artwork. It'll still be in the physical edition's collector's art book, but those are already printed, so unless they tear the page out of every single one of them, it's kind of understandable. Still, yet another thing to add to the list of Ubisoft's embarrassing errors. Just time for the kickfire round! That's right, you heard me correctly, the kickfire round. Because Bandai Namco have just dropped some new trainers based on Tekken. These purple snakeskin Nike Air Foamposite One Fist sneakers will be released in September as part of Tekken's 30th anniversary celebrations. They feature a faux snakeskin design based on Kazuya's overcoat, Tekken's logo embossed on the back, and the massive word fist imprinted on the sole. They'll also be delivered in this sexy looking packaging featuring Tekken artwork and a presentation style box. So you know, when you want to put a pair of shoes on the mantelpiece like we all do. Frustratingly, they only come in men's sizes. And seriously Bandai Namco, it's 2024, what are you doing? But there is a second pair on the way based on Ginxgaming, and so they do have a chance to rectify that. Much like you have the chance to fix the fact you haven't checked out Ginx Plus yet. There's brand new and exclusive episodes of the first hour there, a back catalogue of our shows, and votes on what content we make. And if that's not enough, you get the first 7 days absolutely free. A perfect way to save up for the kicks of your dreams. Right, that'll do for today. Bye!